things. You can't ban a coat, can you? Can you ban a coat? No, they're just running a racket. The only coat that matters now is a floating coat. So get yourself a log jacket. Can you hack it? Can you hack the heat? Water rising. Look at your feet, man. Cause whether rented, borrowed, bought, stole, second hand or brand new man's water resistant and heat proof. My trench coat will see me through. And when I'm gone, I want all of my trench coats framed, and my knackered boots and dirty glasses tastefully arranged on the plimps in between. Cause when they get to the final exhibition that celebrates my good name, I want you to be on display too. Cause all that really remains of me is you. Here we go. All right. Ready for years old? I don't know. Nobody else really knows all I know.
Piece of magic.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to round 3 in Division 2. We are in Portugal for another season. We did Portugal last season, but it was a sprint last season, whereas this time it's just the normal race. Have saying please rain. Hi, Max, good to see you. Max, what is your Discord name? I did see it and I did wonder. If you let me know, that'd be great. But yeah, welcome to everybody. Thank you for tuning in. And if you've not already subscribed, please make sure you do. We would really appreciate that. Have Manifest in the Rain. We're about to find out if it is. No, it's dry. Max, I don't have Discord. Okay, who sent you the link? Who you supporting? Yeah, somebody must send you. You're supporting someone. Who are you pushing along today? We got 19 drivers. Nando Loris retires from the session. I hope to God he remembered to put his setup on. That was rather quick. Anyway, yeah, as I was saying, 19 drivers today. Nando Loris does have a quali ban. K Ray is reserving today in the McLaren in what will be his first race of this season. Because I have a PS4, you can still play F1 24 on a PS4. Am I right? I'm wrong. Right, let's get our tyres up. Everyone on the softs. Who has gone out? It is a hash driver of Minty. Let's see if there is anything in the D2 chat I need to know about. Nothing as of yet. But yeah, yesterday we raced Portugal and it rained in both Q1 and Q2. It was a dry Q3. Max, I have F1 23. Okay. Yeah, whenever you get 24, come join the Discord. Get you in a race. As Harv is going to be the first person to kick off this qualifying session, and we will ride on board with him for what will be the first timed race. Time lap, sorry. The DRS wide open. Not using much of his ERS on the first stint. Not many places you can use it on this lap. Mainly 2 stints. Oh, he takes a lot of that curb. Gets a bit squirmish. Kick off. Was that a punt? It wasn't, but it would have been a great opportunity. As Harv comes down the second DRS straight is on the medium tyres. So, bar Nando Loris retiring, we will lose 3 drivers this session. I think. Yes, 16th, 17th, 18th. Through the tricky uphill line down the hill. Into the right-hander, indecisive braking point. A little bit of oversteer on the exit there. Coming into the final few corners. Little stab on the brakes. Down into second gear for that corner. So using as much engine braking as he can. Burning that last bit of ERS. Tight to the pit wall. Have set say 117.194. Next is Bunions, who sets a 117.215, so just a 10 slower. Next is the McLaren of Kyle, who is just about starting his lap. Then we have Twiggy, also starting his lap. Aston Martin of Jundy, finishing his lap. And he goes quickest with a 117.181 by 10/100ths. Next we have the Alpine of Sam. Where can Sam put his Alpine? P4 with a 120.064. I think he can do better than that. Next is Sparko on the mediums, and he sets a 119.034. Kyle looks like he's had a moment in sector 2 in the hairpin. He's just staying off the track, making sure he doesn't impede anyone. Next across the line is the Big Spartan and Morgan. Morgan setting a 118 and the Big Spartan an 18.4. Baniel with a 17.8 puts in P4. It's a good lap from Baniel. Max, where are you from? Up north. Up north. Sparko just making sure he gets out the way. So who we got on a lap? Bunions, we're on the final corner. Got the Hash driver of Minty, who is starting an out lap. Is that Twooge coming across? Twooge is just starting a lap. Twiggy sets goes P7, 118.960. We got Kyle, who is starting his lap after invalidating the previous. And then we've got both Ferraris coming around the final corner. Rajvosa is going to be first across the line out of the two. Goes P7 with an 18.487. And it's going to be Hessam, who's on an out lap, so he's not set a lap time yet. Sparko going for another lap on those medium tyres. We've got the Mercedes of JW Curtis, who's just starting a lap. Max, yes I am from England, yeah. From Germany, okay. Next we've got the Red Bull of Ellenboy, but it's an out lap, so then it's going to be... I'm not sure who that was. There's too many blue cars in this game. But regardless, we'll ride on board with Kyle. Kyle comes around the last few corners, did well in the D1 race yesterday. Disconnected towards the end, so it lost him a few places. We've got a slow moving McLaren in sector 2, I think, just getting out of the way. Kyle crosses the line, goes P1 with a 117.028. Then we're going to have Minty across the line. The it said a 138, it must have been invalidated because it didn't count. Raj Bosa, no, it's Hessam who goes P2 with a 117.091. I'm so rusty. Should be alright with that. Should be okay. Who was that across the line then? That was Curtis with a 17.991. Next is going to be LM Boy. What can he do at the top of the pops? He goes P1, first drive to hit the 116s and by over 2/10 as well. Good lap from him. How's it going, Alfie? Sorry to not see you on the grid today, but hope you're enjoying your holiday, wherever you are in the world. As Minty is coming around the final few corners. Harv, I'm going for a used set. Do you not think you'd be safe for that time, Harv? Africa. Nice. Nice, healthy. Whereabouts in Africa, if you don't mind saying? If you don't, that's fine. Minty crosses the line, P13 with an 18.7. In the meantime, I missed K-Ray's time with an 18.884. Tunisia. Oh, nice. Very nice. So the only driver to not set a time yet is Ruben Scott. As Sparko is coming into the pits. Who else have we got coming? Ellen Boy diving into the pits. Who else? The big Spartan on an outlap. Looks like he's gone for another run. Ellen Boy retires from the session. He will be perfectly fine with that 16.788. At least we're at another one of my favourite tracks next week. Where are we next week? Remind me. Silverstone? Austria? Actually, I can't remember. I know it sounds really bad, but I actually can't remember. Austria. Yeah, I thought it was. First sprint as well, I think, of the season. So that'll be interesting. Is the big Spartan just over a tenth up on his time? Heading into sector 2. Alfie, I'll be at the front. Yeah, you will. So he comes down the hill, heading into sector 3. Let's see his split times. He is up by half a second, so he will break into the 17s if he makes sure the last bit of his lap is tidy. So the minute could be looking for a P9, maybe P8, depending on how much time he's got in the last few corners. We're about to find out. Overtake mode on, DRS open. He stays P11, he only improves by 0.3, so he mustn't have equalled his sector 3 time. But nonetheless, he makes his time better, he improves that gap to the Ferrari behind of Rajvolta by 0.4. Next we have got Sam coming around the final corner, but he has invalidated. And he's not got a lot of ERS, so I think he might dive into the pits. Yes, he does. So we got a bit of a battle going on. I think but none of these cars are on a lap. Who's that? It's Twiggy who's on a run. He's got a lot of ERS to work with as we come around the final corner. Needs to get that overtake mode on. Crosses the line, improves by 0.8. So far better lap by him. Just a tenth slower than his teammate. So P12 for Twiggy, that's a good result for him. Up to now as Harv. Oh, is he going to end up in the wall? Oh, that was close. He took a lot of the curb there, and I thought he was going to DNF from that session. He's done well to escape. As he needs to make sure he doesn't get in the way of Jundi. He was not long starting his lap. Yeah, that was close from Harv. That could have been his qualifying over very soon. Meanwhile, his teammate for today, Sparko, is on a lap, but he is 0.2 down on the soft tyres as well. I know Sparko's not raced with us for a few weeks since he is a reserve. Nick spent all their money on repairing my car. We don't need any more crashes. Well, it's in safe hands tonight in Sparko. Can you imagine if we had a budget cap? Every time you replace a front wing, you lose one for the season. Sparko coming round the final corner. And improved by half a second. Currently on an 18.403. 5 minutes left of the session. Where can Jundi Sunday go? Jundi doesn't improve. He's slower by just less than 2/10. Next is going to be Ruben Scott, who doesn't have a time on the board yet, and he won't have a time on the board yet, as he is invalidated. But I'm guessing he's got enough fuel for another stab. Meanwhile, Harv is run out of fuel. I think he's just keeping out of the way in the runoff area. So we got Sam, K-Ray all starting a lap. Morgane is on the lap. No, she's not. She is invalidated. Boah, hello, Hessam. How's it going? Good luck with that 17.091. Definitely safe with that. It's close though. Only 2/10 separate P2 to P7. Obviously, LM Boy has got in the 16s, but we're only in Q1. Still a lot of time to show. I'll be curious to see who goes out again. Who we got on a lap? I think it's just Morgan at the minute, isn't it? Oh, we've got a couple of drivers a bit further down. We've got Sam on a lap. There is 2/10 up. Harv retires from the session as Sam invalidates. Oh, there's only 3.5 minutes left of the session, so that could be interesting. We'll cut to Morgane, who is going to be next across the line. What can she do? Can she improve on the 18 flat? Yes, she can by 6/10. Good time there as K-Ray improves as well. Good lap from him. Sets a 17.554. Who's that next? It's going to be Minty, who is invalidated, which means it's going to be JW Curtis. So who have we got on the brink here? We got Raj Vosa, who is out. What's the difference? If you don't include Sam's time, we've got about what? 6/10. Curtis pretty much sets the exact same time. He is 7/1000 slower. We're right on board with Raj Vosa as we only have 2 minutes left of the qualifying session. What can Raj Vosa do in that Ferrari? I'd showed some pace in the past few weeks. Got a yellow flag. I think that's Sparko. Oh, it's the Hash driver just moving out of the way. Where can Raj Vosa put his Ferrari? He improves by half a second and goes P11 with a 1:17.922. Next across the line is the Big Spartan. Can he improve? No, he doesn't. He's 2 times slower. Next is going to be Twooge Bunions retires from the session, so they think they are safe. My teammate is cooking. Yeah, I think he should be safe for that there, hopefully. Don't think we've got anyone on the lap, have we? Got Morgane. She is not on the lap. She is out of fuel, is what she is. We've got the 2 Alpines not in a good position at the minute. Ruben, I know, definitely has the pace, but he's left himself with a high pressure lap here because if he invalidates on this lap, this is going to be his qualifying over. 55 seconds left to quali. It will be interesting to what he can do. As Ruben won't be setting any Delta times. It's anyone on a lap in the meantime. Minty's on a lap. Sparkle's on a lap. The Big Spartan isn't. He's going to start a lap. Raj Volser is in the pits, so that is his qualifying over. We'll find out very soon if he is safe. Sparko's going to be next across the line though. And he's on the brink at the minute. He's safe as it stands by 3/10. But with track degradation, I think he'll want to improve that. He's got a lot of ERS to work with using that overtake mode. ERS open. He improves by half a second, goes P11. Good job from the kick driver there. Minty ran out of fuel as I have just cut to him. Sam is up by 4/10, but I think he's going to need a lot more than 4/10 unless he's got a lot to play with in this final sector. Ruben has not invalidated his time yet. Liam has very good pace. I think he's going to win unless bad luck kicks in. No pun there. Ruben crosses the line and sets a 17.770, which is P10. Which means the only person that can knock the big Spartan out of quali now is going to be Sam. And he's 3/10 up, so I don't think he's going to have enough. He will improve, but it's not going to be enough to climb the ladder. Sam will start B18 with a 19.848. So in this quali session, we have lost Nando Loris, who's on a quali bump, Sam in P18, Minty P17, Twiggy in P16, misses out by just under a tenth, just over a tenth, one of the two, by his teammate, the Big Spartan. So there are 3 drivers we will be losing in Q1. Very close though. Very close. There you go. As you can see, from P2 to P7, 2/10 separate. And from, what was it? It was Twiggy all the way down to Ruben Scott in P10, only 3/10. How's it going, Marek? Good to see you. While you're here, how are your Williams driving doing? Baniel, P11, good luck from him. Just did it with a 1 set as well. So, good effort from him. You know what I thought about? I should join the call as a guest moderator, like IRL. The amount of one fumbles, you know, because I'm world champion and everything. You can be our Sky from Ant from Race Control. That's if you watch the Sky Sports stream. If you don't, that'll mean nothing to you. Looks like we got a bit of overcast for Q2. I think we saw a couple of drivers use an extra set of softs there, which I don't think they would have wanted to do. We saw a couple of different strats yesterday in D1. We saw a lot of people go for the medium softs and some people go for the soft hard. So it'll be interesting to see what people do today. I think medium hard would be a bit of overkill. But soft hard would definitely be possible, especially if you start on the soft and get an early safety car. It's like a free pit stop. Ted in the pit lane down to you. Who is out? So it's Have, who is first out again. We'll see most drivers out in this session. I don't think we saw Hav's full quali pace in Q1. I know he said he doesn't like Portugal, but that curb didn't look like it was his friend in the first few laps. He could have been out of Q1, to be fair. He crashed into the wall, lost his full front wing. That could have been his qualifying over. So we've still got in the pits. We've got Hessam, Banyol, Spark on his way out, LM Boy. So the rest of the 12 drivers are out at the minute. As we'll ride on board for Have as he starts his first quali lap of Q2. I just realised it's not all my things off. That's a better turn 1 from him. It was scruffy in Q1. trying to get as much right as he can, take the better run up the hill before the DRS zone. Down into third gear, locks up his front left there, he goes wide. Trying to use as much track as he can up the hill. Careful not to get the accelerator down too quickly as you start to understeer as we come back up the hill before we go straight back down again, blind into the braking zone. Into sector 3. Final corner, chooses second instead of third. Third into the final corner. Ah, bro, that motherfucker is driving with traction control. Never seen someone go fly out through turn 3. Yeah, we're not with traction control. As Harv sets the same as his Q1 time, pretty much. He sets the 17.142. Next across the line is going to be the McLaren of Kyle. Can Kyle beat a 17.1? Yes, he can. He goes into the 16s with a 16.43. Next across the line, the Big Spartan with a 17.9. Then Curtis with a 17.5 and Jundy with a 17.367. Also, Ruben Scott with a 17.7. And Swooge just beating his teammate by just over half a tenth with a 17.2. Next, we got the Ferrari driver of Rajvosa, 17.658, and the Haas driver of Morgaine with a 17.952. We're going to have Harv's teammate Sparko crossing the line next. Can he do on the soft? So he sets a 17.887. And K-Ray goes P3. Good luck from him with a 17.251. K-Ray only signed up half an hour before the race, so he's not had much practice. So regardless, I think scoring any points this race would be a great result for him. Who have we got on a lap? Have we got Bunions on a lap? Yes, we do. Comes round the penultimate corner. Bunyan showed great pace in D1 yesterday. I think he even got himself a Driver of the Day nomination. Hopefully the cars in front won't cause him any traffic. DRS open. Bunyan goes P1 with a 16.691. It's a great lap from him. Loads. Kyle's going for another run. Is that Hessam just starting a lap? Oh no, Hessam's on an out lap. We got LM Boy on an out lap. Manuel coming out of the pits. Sparko diving into the pit. Yeah, Harvey, you weren't joking when you said you weren't a fan of Portugal. But then, to be fair, was that a used set or a new set? Alfie Liam Ramsell is full time now. He races in the Haas alongside Duke. Yeah, it was good yesterday. Duke kept in company. It's a shame Marek wasn't there because I know he could have kept up with him as well. Which would have been good to see. As Hessam is about to begin his lap, as Kyle is ending his lap, but he has invalidated. So I'm sure he will dive into the pits, which means LM Boy will be the first to cross the line. LM Boy took P1 in Q1, but I think he might have gone out and used. We'll see. I think it was a 16, pretty much the same time Bunyan set. So Red Bull going strong in D2. What can LM Boy do as he comes around the final corner? Goes P2, so it's Red Bull 1-2 at the minute with a 16.863. as Harv begins his second run. Let's watch his turn one just before we cut back to Hessam. Yeah, not bad turn one from him there as Hessam coming around the final corner. Overtake mode on. Kyle, lovely lap from me and an old set. Yeah, I thought it would have been. Hessam goes P2 with a 16.844, separates the Red Bulls. As who we got crossing the line next? It is the big Spartan on an outlap. Is that Banyal? Yeah, it's going to be Banyal's across the line next. Williams driver yet to set a time. Banyal had a good race last weekend. Shows some great pace, and I'm sure he'll be looking to bounce back off that here in Portugal. Got a yellow flag from the Sauber. That's Harv. In the meantime, Banyal goes B15 with an 18.1. I know he can do much better than that. What's happened to Harv? Harv still has his front wing intact. Lamboy retires from the session, so he's happy with that. As we've got Hessam returning to the pits. I think it's going to be the big Spartan to cross the line next. Well, Harv's not showing his quality pace that we're used to see him. So I think a few people could take a poll here. Feel free to chuck your predictions down below. I would be interested to hear who you all think is going to take poll. Nando Loris didn't put his setup on. He just retired straight away. As the big Spartan improves and goes P9 sorry with a 17.441. As Ruben begins his lap, and Banyal's going for another roll of the dice. Sauber's main man has barely any pace. Barely any pace is a long shot, but yeah, it's not where we're used to seeing Harv at the minute. I know he is what, 4.5 tenths off the top, but nonetheless, I know he can normally pull some out of the bag. I think we've only got Ruben on a lap at the minute, as Kyle has left the session. We'll get him an invite back in here. There you go. Harv, am I fine here? I don't know. You got Twooge, Jundy. What's the gap? The gap is only 3.5 tenths, 4 tenths. So I'm not 100% sure you'd be fine, if I'm honest. I know Ruben has better pace than that. Adrosa probably has better pace, but yet to be seen. Jundy and Twooge do. As he retires from the session, so he thinks he's safe. Kyan, Jamie, good to see you, Kyan. After our great result yesterday in the 2 McLarens, we've got 2 more McLarens today, hopefully scoring more points than what we did. K-Ray is reserving for us today. Only joined the league about half an hour ago, so showing some good pace, to be fair. Kyle has just left, but I have sent him an invite. Look, Harv, we're not talking about D1. We're on the D2 race now. I'll resend Kyle another invite just in case he didn't get the last one. So we got 3 of the top 5 all retired at the minute. Twooge is out. It was bad, we'll wait for Austria. Yeah. Austria practice starts now. Who's that coming around the final corner? It's Baniel. Warming up his tyres. We haven't got anybody on a lap now. Everybody just on an outlap. I know it's months away, but I'm very excited for Abu Dhabi, the final race of the season. And it's a sprint race. So yeah, definitely that should be interesting. As Baniel has just started his lap, we will ride on board with him. 2.5 minutes left of Q2. I'm only going to have about 2 days of practice for Australia. Plenty of time. As Baniel isn't improving in Sector 1. I'm sure Harv in your team chat can help you out with things like setups, fuel, stuff like that. Save you a bit of practice time. You've got a yellow flag of a Ferrari. Rajvosa, who was on a lap, and he's just had to back out. Pulls off the racing line, making sure he wasn't in the way of the Aston Martin. We'll cut back to Baniel, who's 2 attempts up on his time. So what's the gap at the minute? He needs about 6/10 to try and get out of the drop zone. So unless he had a moment on the final corner of his last lap, this might be Baniel's qualifying over, which it is. He improved by 3/10, but only puts in P13 at the minute. Next we're going to have Swoosh Dairy. He comes around the final corner. So he didn't think he was safe, so he's gone out for another run. He improves to P6. Next it's going to be Morgaine as she jumps up to P7, improves by 7/10. Then we've got the McLaren of K-Ray, who is just starting his lap, as well as Rajvosa. Then we've got Jundi, who's going to cross the line next, but he's just starting his time. Curtis is going to be next across the line. Curtis in the drop zone currently. He needs at least a 10th to get him out there. Oh, and he's not done it. JW Curtis is out of Q2. As Sparko sets another time, he's also out of Q2. The Big Spartan improves. He goes P9, so Jundi's on the brink at the minute. Jundi is on a lap as it stands. Baniel is out. Rajvosa on the brink. K-Ray is improving on his time. So he's going to be the next driver to cross the line. So at the minute we have lost Baniel, Sparko and JW Curtis. Still Rajvosa and Ruben Scott to improve. It's going to be a close Q2 this. So Harv is definitely safe. Rajvosa improves. He goes P5 just behind his teammate. Then we're going to have Rajvosa, who doesn't improve. He's out. Jundi Sunday does improve. He goes P3, which puts the Big Spartan on the brink. Only Ruben Scott is 3 temps up. Can Ruben knock the VCARB out of Q2? DRS open. He does. He goes P6 with a 17.110. So unlucky there for the Big Spartan. As that is everyone. Very close there. Only 4/100 separating P10 and P11. Very close. What was the gap between 6/10? A bit less than 6/10 separating P1 to P10. Yeah, Harv, you are safe by, what's that, just over a 10th? Yeah, close. Very close. I don't think Raj will also be happy with that lap. He showed some good pace in previous week. Sparko out in Q2, currently P13, so is JW Curtis. So there we are. Bunyan's top in Q2 as we lose to Big Spartan, JW Curtis, Sparko, Rajvosa and Baniel. Very close there. Look at that, only 5.5 tenths separating between P1 and P10. And if you go from P2 to P10, it's only 4 tenths. So very close in Q2, which makes Q3 even more exciting. Like I said, chuck your predictions for pole in the chat. Who you think's going to take pole? It's going to be close. Bunyan's put a great time there. I think some people went out on used tyres as well, so I'd play a big factor. As it is dry again. I did expect Curtis in Q3, to be honest. Bunyan's going to take a W this race. It'd be nice to see. It will be nice to see. We're not seeing Bunyan's on the top spot of the podium in a while. He normally has some very good race pace, Bunyan's, but I can call it already. The thing that will let him down this race will be time penalties. And not by, I mean after, I mean like track limits. So I hope he can prove me wrong. I really hope he does, but we'll see. I don't think Kyle's back yet. I'm going to chuck him another invite just in case. Yeah. As the two McLarens yet to come out. Kerry comes out. Kyle still not back in this session. Hope he can get back in. First Q3 appearance for Morgane, so congrats to her. Yeah, Kyle's struggling to get in. Hopefully that doesn't affect Kyle's qualifying, because I think he could be up there. Right, we have kicked off quali with Harv, we'll ride on board with, into turn 1 in what I imagine will be a new set of soft tyres. Oh, I'm sick of this game resetting everything. There we are. Using a lot of his ERS in the first sector. Not really many places to use it apart from the first sector and as you come around the final corner. You heard right, Alfie. You heard kick. Start calling it Sauber. Up the hill. Into third gear. We've got a yellow flag in the second sector. Not sure what's going on here. Hessam needs to make sure he gets himself out of the way. We'll come back to Harv. Harv still yet to break the 16s in what's been a tricky qualifying session for him. Got another yellow flag. Better than Stake. Yeah, Stake F1 start. Sounds awful. Which he does. That's a better lap time from Harv. 16.685. Next is going to be Ruben Scott with a 17.687. That's going to be Bunyan's with a 16.914. And it's going to be LM Boy with a 16.984 and Morgane with a 17.942. Jundy with a 120. He definitely will not be happy with that. His teammate Swooge comes around the final corner. Goes P4 with a 17.274. Next is going to be K-Ray. Where can he put that papaya orange McLaren? P4, 17 flat almost. Good lap time from him. So Kyle is on his outlap. Hessam pitted. I'm not sure what happened with a few times there. I few of them times looked slow for what I was expecting, but I did see a yellow flag in sector 2 of Hessam. So I'm wondering if that put a few drivers off as LM Boy dives out the way, but the drivers are just on their in lap anyway, so that will not matter. As we'll ride on board with Kyle in what is his first lap of the session. He's invalidated already. It's not a good session for the McLaren driver. I know he's had some connection issues which will be playing in the back of his mind. Jundi goes P2. I missed that. Didn't know he was going for another lap. 16.892. So was having issues in Q1 and Q2, but he's pulled it out of the bag for Q3 in what is a great lap time. We saw LM Boy set a similar lap in Q1. We saw Bunyan set a similar lap in Q2. And Halves pretty much set the exact same lap as what they both did in Q3. So, only 6 minutes left of the session. Won't be a long Q3. SM on his out lap. Be curious to see if Kyle goes for another roll at the dice here, or if he calls it quits and goes into pole. Goes into the pit, sorry. I have Q3 Merchant. I told you. You could see it coming from a mile off as Kyle goes for another run. Jundi invalidated, seen that before. Yeah, definitely. Into turn 1, Kyle goes. Picked a little bit too much of the curb. Down to second gear for the first right-hander up the hill. Making sure not to invalidate on the exit. Overtake mode on before the hairpin. Down into second again. Early on the throttle. As we go up the hill to immediately go straight back down. In terms of elevation, it's a great track. Portugal. As we do the same, we go uphill into a blind braking zone. You don't see it until very late. Difficult to follow somebody there. Showing purple sector 2 for Kyle, but I don't think you can ever trust this game. I think he's on for a good time here though. I think he's going to be roughly the same as Harv here. I think he's going to be around the 16.6. What can Kyle do? He goes provisional pole with a 16.638. So, good lap time from Kyle there as Hessam takes pole off him. Wow, with a 16.587. We missed that as Hessam completely cuts turn 1. Not sure what he's doing there. As every other driver is in the pits. That's a great lap time from Hessam. Radrosa, how's it going? Sorry to lose you in Q2. So, that's really messed up the front of the grid. Hessam on provisional pole. Yeah, I didn't have a good time on the track yesterday. I feel you. I just couldn't find any time yesterday. It was awful. Nonetheless, at least if you spin out on the starting grid, you're going to take out a lot less cars. As LM Boy leaves the pit lane. It'd become like a bit of a meme that. I've done it before, but not in a real race, just in like open lobbies and stuff. And by accident as well. Morgaine exits pit lane, sorry. So does Tuj. Kyle gets back to the pits, so does Hessam. I'm going to try and not spin a lot. Easier said than done. Do you use traction control? I take it not if you span out off the start. That is the other Red Bull of Bunyan's leaving the pit lane. So LM Boy's going for an early lap here. Still plenty of time of the session left, just under 3 minutes. Banyul's left the session. Not sure what's happened there. We'll get Banyul back in. Where is Banyul? Yeah, went straight past him. LM Boy down the back straight, not much, using much ERS. Oh, he goes wide, turn 1 and invalidates. He will instantly turn that ERS off. And he has 2 minutes and 20 to get back round. So, not a good start there for LM Boy. That puts him under the cosh. So, who is behind him? Morgan is behind. Is she going to be the next person to cross the line? No, the next is going to be Twooge. And then it's going to be Morgan. And the Sauber moves off the racing line. Slightly distracting, but not really much he could have done there. Alfie, I bet 50 quid there's going to be 2 or more safety cars. It's a tricky... No, you're not racing. Sorry, he's had you there. Yeah, it'll be a tricky lap 1. Lap 1 and turn 1 and 2 can be a bit difficult. Following, and then up and down the hills can be tricky as well in terms of braking zones. As Twooge crosses the line and goes P4 with a 17.65, and the Harv is trying to get a bit of a toe down there. Morgan next across the line, she goes P7. So good lap from her. She breaks into the 16s. Jundi's on an outlap. K-Ray is also on an outlap, and so is Hessam, which means Bunions will be next across the line. He's 2/10 up on his time. Gonna need a bit more in sets of 3 to try and beat that. He's on for a good time though. Can he push for pole? Comes around the final corner. This will be his last lap of the session. Bunions goes pole with a great lap, 16.327. Next across the line is going to be LM Boy. As he comes around the final corner, he's only a 10th up on his time. It's not going to be enough for pole position. LM Boy can only go P4. Then it's going to be Ruben Scott, who stays P10. Then it is going to be Kyle. Kyle's only got P3, so it's going to be Harv next, as he is out of this session. Then it is going to be Morgan as she comes around the final corner. She is not going to improve. So, out of the Aston Martins, Jundi will not improve. K-Ray comes around the final corner. I'm glad Banyul is back before the start of this race so he can take control of his car. Where can K-Ray put his McLaren on his debut? Only P8. Hessam next across the line. Can he challenge for pole? Yes, he does. He goes a 16.298. What a lap time from him. What a lap time from him. There we are. 3/100 separates P1 and P2. Hessam taking the pole position off Bunions at the death. Kyle P3, Helen Boy P4, Harv P5. Well, let's see if he can make it off the grid. Swooge P6, Jundi P7. Not much separating the two Aston Martins. K-Ray P8, Morgan P9, and Ruben Scott P10. I tell you what we will do. We will check in with the boys. We will check in with Twiggy, Twooge, and Jundi. See what they've got to say.
It's like the week when he was in D1 and he struggled like foot, and you come to D2, he was fucking flying.
Who's that?
Fucking Bunions.
Bunions, yeah, Bunions. Great time there.
I know, this is what we're saying. It looks weird, right? Because the other week, in D1 he would dog shit, and then come to D2 the next day, he's fucking a rocket ship.
Bit harsh.
Nah, he wasn't dog shit yesterday.
Yeah,
Not
he was good
I'm
yesterday.
about what you call it. I'm about the other week.
Are
When
we
he went
happy?
out in quali 1 and then fucking got to quali 3 and like finished. Like what?
I mean, to be fair, only 4 tenths separate the top 6.
Oh, I know, I invalidated, didn't I?
Yeah, I
I
seen you
got
got off.
fucked up in turn 1.
Are you happy with
Right.
P7 to P6?
Oh, fucking have to be, won't
Oh, yeah.
I
It's not
thought,
like I've.
I thought I am faster. That's a reality check for me.
You have more
It's
more
not
pace.
like. It's not like I've not won from far back before, is it, Jimmy?
Very true. Very true. Just make sure you don't
No
You know
man,
what?
looking at D2 chat, fucking Irvy having another fucking meltdown. Fucking hell, honestly.
To be fair, Harv had a bad Q1, Q2, but then his Q3 first lap time was really good.
Yeah.
So that's kind of saved him. Twiggy, you literally just got knocked out of Q2 by that. It wasn't much, was it? By your own teammate.
Let's just not talk about that.
Let's just say that Twiggy gambled on the wrong fucking colour. Didn't you, lad?
Of
Yeah,
what? Tyre?
No, he decided not to go out. He thought it was safe.
Oh!
Thought it was safe.
Oh.
And then
just
everybody
sat there,
started improving massively. Like, oh crap!
You look quick here, though, compared to previous weeks.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
No, because I mean, you've been doing manual gears, haven't you?
I did for China and then scrap that idea. No, not China. Where did I do it?
Bahrain.
Bahrain.
Yeah,
And then
okay.
scrap that idea.
Right, fair. What time are we ready now?
27 past.
27. So what's that? 65 seconds.
I'm going with that. I'm going with this.
What are you going for?
I'm going for ads.
I don't believe you for
Are
a
you
minute.
really? Are you really
Ads
going
all
for
the way
hard?
to ads all the way to lap 30, 32, and then switch to softs.
Doing an Albon.
Yeah, doing an album. Safety car lap 1 all the way to the end.
Oh, so you starting on the softs.
Who is?
I thought you said safety car lap 1 and then all the way to the end.
Don't know what you're on about.
It'd be interesting. Nobody
It
ready
will.
up? No.
No.
Nope.
Good.
I hope Nando was able to set his setup.
I hope so. I said straight away, he readied up very quickly. No, he can't set his setup.
What an idiot.
If I do to chat, my setup isn't working.
Oh, someone readied up early.
Somebody ready it up.
Okay, right. I'll leave you with that. Best of luck, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, well, right.
Right, that's enough of them. Somebody is ready up. It has just, 27. So, yeah, they're ready up at the right time. As we should see the lights be going out any second. Here we are. It's 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights here in Portugal. And away we go. Hessam doesn't look like he got the great start. Bunyan's not too bad of a start. Both of them seem to be pulling away. As we'll cut further down the grid, everyone getting away cleanly. We got the two Aston Martins battling away. As we go into turn 2 up the hill. Everybody making it through lap 1. Great to see. Minty dropping a few places down. Might be a bit of oversteer. There are your possible race strategies for this race. So, soft mediums. Nando Loris gets 10-second time penalty for cutting a corner. So, I think he'll be looking to get that removed after this race. Big shout out to Nando Loris, by the way. It is his birthday. As we do see some front wing go flying off there. As there is a lot of battling on going in the back. We will cut back to that very briefly. Hessam still in P1. Bunyan shortly behind. LM Boy's got himself up into P3. Kyle dropped down to P2. Has lost a place in the process there. More battling going on at the back. Is it Nando Loris that's lost some of his front wing? Yes, it is. 4-car scrappy as we come around the final corner. Twiggy has lost some of his front wing. Nando's really struggling there. Nandaloris is really struggling with some, as Sam has also lost some of his front wing. More gains in the pits. I take it she's lost some of her front wing. Nandaloris retires from the session, so that is his race over. Have we seen a front wing change in the Haas garage? Yes, we are. So she has obviously had some front wing damage there, which is unfortunate. Bunions has took the lead of this race in the meantime. I missed that. Tuj now up to P4. Harv's not having a good time. He's down into P10. Harv looking to try and get his elbows at this race. JW Curtis had a good start to this race. He's up in P8. Sam gets 3 seconds already for track limits. And Nandaloris leaves the session. Swooj up into P4, so it's a good start for him on them soft tyres. Which reminds me, we will have a look at the tyres. Aerial position changes. So Morgan not having a good start to this race after her first Q3 appearance. JW Curtis, Baniel all up 3 positions. Who's that at the back? That's Rajbosa. Not having a good time. He's missing some of his front wing. So that's unfortunate. See, shows he's Minty. Minty dives into the pits. So does Rajbosa. We'll cut back to the front as Hessam's lost another position. So it's a Red Bull 1-2 at the minute. And there you are. That explains why Hessam is on the medium tyre, whereas Bunions and LM Boy and Twooge behind him are all on the softs. So we've got a bit of a train all the way down to Jundi, and then it's a bit of a split off to Curtis. So we'll cut back to this train, as I don't think we'll see many overtakes in Sector 2 from the front runners. Okay, Ray going a little wide there. Oh, we've got a virtual safety car. Not sure what has caused this. No, flicking through the grid, I'm not really sure why we've got a virtual safety car, but this will neutralise the race, and everybody needs to make sure they don't get any time penalties now. The last thing the top 6 would want here, as Jundi and K-Ray swapping positions. I think it's the game that's been telling them that. Jundi is in the pits, so he's using this chance to go onto the hard tyres. Bunions gets a drive-through penalty. No, I called it before the race. I said I actually said the only thing that will hinder Bunions is in-game penalties. And there we are. It's technically an in-game penalty. So Bunions got a drive-through, which means LM Boys are provisional P1 at the minute. Bad time for Jundi, by the way. Just as Jundi came in, the virtual safety car disappeared, but he's gone on mediums, which is interesting. I don't think mediums will last him to the end of this race. Regardless, more gains on the hard tyres, so she'll be looking to go to the end of the race on them. Bunions is out of DRS now of LM Boy. Minty gets another 3 seconds. Sorry, his first 3 seconds of the evening. So, something's happened to K-Ray, who has fell off Kyle quite dramatically. I wonder if that was just a safety car restart. Still got his front wing intact, but he's got JW Curtis behind as Hessam overtakes LM Boy on the first DRS straight. LM Boy will be looking to fight back as we go up the hill and into the second DRS straight. I will check in with the D2 chat, make sure there's nothing I am missing out, everyone. Something happened with Kyle, I think, because Kyle was apologising to Jundi Sunday. But regardless, K-Ray's getting under a bit of pressure from JW Curtis. Morgan makes an overtake on Sam as Sam enters the pits for a new front wing and a new set of hard tyres. So we've got the back of the pack quite spread out, but we've got the front and the middle bunched up together. Baniel up into P10, so you think he's made like 5 positions. Not a good start of the race for Harv, who's down into P8. And we're going to see any overtakes. Bunions dives into the pits to serve his drive-through penalty, making sure he doesn't get 10 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. Ellen Boy not quick enough at the minute to make a move down the straight. Twooge all over the back of him. Twooge went a bit wide there. Kyle having a look at the inside. And he's doing the same for the next corner. Twooge is going to be under a bit of pressure here from Kyle. Alongside into the braking zone. Kyle breaks deep. Kyle's got the inside line. Twooge has got the outside. Both keeping it clean, but Twooge will get the better exit. Twooge stays P3 for now. As Curtis has fell off a little bit. K-Ray has earned himself a few positions up into P6. So this is the middle part of the track that we're battling. Sector 2 is going to be tough to overtake in majority of these sections. Difficult braking zones as you come up and through the hill. Sparkle and Twiggy running off the last few point places. Bunions comes out in P13. Minty gets another 3 seconds for track limits. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. So it's Minty going slow. Missing a bit of his front wing, so that's not helping him this race. Could do with that. Get him changed before he rounds up some more track penalties. Hessam takes the lead of this race. Oh, he keeps the lead of this race even. So Twooge stays P3. Twooge getting a better run up into the DRS zone this time. I think he'll be a lot safer from Kyle behind. Ellen Boy taking a look up the inside then. Just letting Hessam know that he's still there. Harv and K-Ray battling into the second DRS zone. Ruben Scott, JW Curtis and Baniel also in behind. Baniel on the medium tyres, JW Curtis on the soft tyres. The big Spartan in P10 at the minute. Sparko trying to catch him. He's still within DRS. So we've got quite a few battles on track, and then we've got pretty much down from Twiggy in no man's land. Nobody within DRS, but spread all over the track. As we'll cut back to the front of the pack. Minty gets another 3 seconds, rounding that up to 9 as we hit, what, about a quarter into this race. As Twooge takes P2. He overtakes Ellen Boy, so maybe he's had a burn of his ERS down that back straight. JW Curtis and Ruben making an overtake. Harv is in the pits, that's why. So it's an early pit stop for Harv. And he going on to his favourite hard tyres, as we like to see him do. He's going to the mediums and a new front wing. So, not sure what has happened with Harv. Maybe he caught the rear end under braking of K-Ray. Regardless, K-Ray in P5. That moves the rest of the field up 1. Who's running a good race in P2, keeping with Hessam. I think the top 4 are happy to just follow each other for now. Kyle putting a little bit of pressure on Ellen Boy. He's very close up behind him. So many front wings broken. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, after lap 1, it is a tricky first few corners to navigate, especially in a big pack. As Kyle comes to the inside down the straight, we'll see him burn a bit of ERS before we make a move into turn 1. Beautiful helicopter shot. No, Kyle ducks in behind. Sam gets another 3 seconds. We'll cut further down the grid. K-Ray still keeping all of that P5 as Baniel gets 3 seconds. The big Spartan getting pressured by Sparko as we head into the next DRS zone. They're both on different tyre compounds. The Big Spartan on the mediums, whereas Sparkle on the softs, where they'll be starting to wear roughly around now. We've already seen Harv into the pits as he came out in P13 on the medium tyres. John Deere was also an early stopper. We got a yellow flag. Harv's retired from the session. That's going to bring out a safety car. So, looking at Harv's position where he's gone off, he's done exactly what he did in Q1, which was take too much of that curb, as this has fell nicely for Minty to dive into the pits there. He stuck too much of the curb into turn 1, and it's thrown him off the track into that barrier. Whereas in Q1 he just lost his front wing, but I'm guessing there he's lost his full wheel. So this is good to see from the back end point of view. I'd say from about Twiggy below, it's good for them, as Twiggy definitely needs that front wing replacing. But yeah, for the top 4, probably not so good for them. So we've seen Hessam stay out. This is also good for the soft runners. Twooge, LM Boy, Kyle, K-Ray, all in the pits. Ruben, Curtis, Spaniel, Sparko. What did that just say? Hessam disqualified from the session. Why was Hessam disqualified from the session? What did I just miss? Ignoring yellow flags. Wow, this game. I guarantee it's not his fault. Well, I'm sure we will see that in D2 chat, so I'll check back in a second and relay that information, but I have no idea what's just happened there. Twooge would love to see this. Currently sitting P1. Yeah, this game. Let's check the D2 chat. Safety car didn't move. I think he's about to elaborate. John D said he's suffering with some freezing issues. Not sure what's happening there. I will ask Hessam what happened. So let's check what tyres everyone's on. So we've got a real mix of tyres, but everyone apart from Morgan is pitted. She's currently on 8-lap old hard tyres. To be fair, is she diving into the pits now? No. She could have dived into the pits then. To be fair, probably would have been a good option. But it's if you could make mediums last 20 odd laps. Yep, so the kick team will be looking upon Sparko to try and earn them some points. Hessam overtook the safety car, which is why he was disqualified. And I think it was season 1, maybe season 2. Twooge did the same in Australia. I think he was leading the race and he overtook the safety car and just got disqualified as well. Oh, Twooge gets right up in the grill of the safety car. Still got his front wing. I'm not sure if that was a bit of a lag or what. Minty gets 3 seconds even under the virtual full safety car, sorry. Manifesting a good race for Sauber next week. Starting here. Yeah, he missed. I don't know if he missed the safety car, just drove straight past it. But usually when you drive past it, it tells you to let the safety car back through. But the time difference is so small, it's very difficult to do. Yeah, it's very difficult to do, so it just disqualifies you from the race almost immediately. Minty needs that front wing replacing. If he is listening. I swear he's pitted. Yeah, 2-level mediums. I'm surprised the game hasn't automatically done it for him. But saying that, can you show pit stops? Because I can't. Oh, yeah, Everyone has stopped at least once, and Jundi, JW Curtis, Raj Volso, Minty, and Sam all have stopped twice. And there are your tyres. Everybody on a fresh set, bar Morgaine. So I think she'll still be looking to go to the end of the race. When did the safety car come out? About 2 laps ago, I think. Safety car came out, half box for a new set of medium tyres, and as he's gone into turn 1, he's hit the curbs. He's hit the curb and it's thrown him off the track and took the rest of his sabre with him. Sam just gave his bullshit. You have 2 seconds to give. Yeah, so I was just saying, it's madness. It's impossible to do it in time. I think you probably have to slam the brakes on. But even still, the safety car is quite slow. Yeah, so I was right half. Did the exact same thing as what you did in Q1. Was it Q1 or Q2? Can't remember. In Q1, oh, it was Q1. Yeah, in Q1 you were lucky enough to just escape with a missing front wing. I thought I can overtake the safety car. You were the leading car. Oh well. Unfortunate for you because it is what it is. But as safety car is in this lap, we will see everybody grouped up together. So Tuj will begin to back up the cars all behind. When will Tuj decide to go? Tuj, I imagine we'll leave this quite late because you because you wouldn't want to go too early and have the whole straight. But he does go early. He's tried to catch the rest of the pack off guard. And he's already gained 9 tenths off LM Boy, so he really has done that. LM Boy will probably have to burn a lot of ARS here to catch up to Tweed. Who's that going for a move? That's Ruben Scott looking down the inside of K-Ray. Has to back out last minute. Yeah, Tweed, what a great race start there. He even caught me off guard. Sam gets another 3 seconds. I was really questioning it. Oh, the Mercedes getting all out of shape there as we go up the hill. Yeah, Tuj out of DRS already. Caught him napping. As Outfox said, Kyle up into P2. He's made an overtake on LM Boy. Morgaine making an overtake. Oh, is that what's happened to Sparko? What's happened? Saw a few cars dropping down. Bunions as well. Puts Jundi up into P9. Morgaine up into P7. But she's already 2.4 seconds off P6 off Banyol at the minute, so Banyol does have a time penalty as it stands. So Tweed just over a second. We will have DRS this lap. We won't have it down in this straight, but we'll have it on the next one. There's a bunch of smiles on the Sauber pit wall. No sarcasm at all. I don't think them smiles are coming from Harv. As K-Ray moves up into B4, putting pressure on LM Boy as well. Does the McLaren driver fancy a spot on the podium on his debut? Tuj keeping that 1 second gap as it stands, both on the medium tyres. LM Boy is on the hard tyres, which does explain... I think he did catch him napping, but it does explain his lack of pace at the moment. K-Ray doing very nicely on his debut. Keeping it clean and just making his way up through the pack. As Sam gets an overtake on Minty. Minty gets another 3 seconds. Banyol trying his best to keep within the DRS of Ruben. He's just flicking in and out. We've got a yellow flag. It's between Minty and Sam at the back. I think it's Sam. Still got his front wing intact, so I wonder if it was just a tangle of wheels. But Sam looks like he's come further off, worse off there. So it'll be interesting to see all these medium tyre runners and how far they're going to get. I know they have the pace now. But will they have the pace in, say, what, 10 laps time? 10, 15 laps time? As we come towards the end of the race, K-Ray has overtaken LM Boy for P3 on the podium. Twiggy gets an overtake done on Morgaine as Morgaine's getting under pressure from the Aston Martin Jundy Sunday. Jundy going down the inside. Bunyan's also trying to get in on the action. Are we going 3 wide? Morgaine's going to have the inside line. Jundy on the outside. Jundy will get the better exit. Oh, did I see a bit of front wing flail in there? Not sure who that was from. I have a feeling that might be from Bunyan's. Yes, it is. Bunyan's is missing his front right end plate there. I'm not sure if he went too deep, but I don't think there was a place for him. As Jundy had the outside and Morgaine had the inside. As he goes for it again up the inside, forces Morgaine off the track. So not a good move from Bunyan's there. Sam Twooge will win, trust me. Bunyan's without that front wing is going to struggle under braking. We'll cut back to the front of the grid as Kyle has now got back within DRS of Twooge. K-Ray 2.7 seconds away, but LM Boy still within DRS. Yeah, that was filthy from Bunyan's. He's thrown it up the inside before the uphill. And he's staying out. He doesn't want that front wing changed. So it's Sparko's overtaken Morgaine in the meantime, which puts Morgaine down into the final point scoring position. In the meantime, Kyle's overtook Twooge. Missed that one. Twiggy in P8 running a good race at the minute, but be curious to see how these mediums hold up. I can see if that gets reported. Bunyan's getting an after race penalty for that. I think it's not been a good race for him. I think after qualifying it was a good start for him, but after getting that drive through, it's might have got into his head a little bit, which is unfortunate because Bunyan's could have been right up there at the minute. As the front two pulling a gap on P3 at the minute. Yeah, I agree. Out of Fox, I can see that getting reported. As Twooge retakes the lead of this race. So, what are your guys' opinions on the medium tyres? Can we see them going to the end of the race, or do we see LM Boy, Ruben Banyul all catching up on the hard tyres towards the end? Be interesting to see. As we've got Jundy, Curtis, and Bunyan's battling it out. Bunyan's around the outside this time. Into the same corner, he lost his front wing. JW Curtis has the inside line. Won't get the better exit though. Bunyan's up into P9. I think they will, but they will struggle in the final couple of laps. Yeah, I agree. I'll be curious to see what the delta is in terms of when LM Boy will start catching up. 3 seconds at the minute, but K-Ray's on the medium tyres. So I think LM Boy just has to stick with him, use his DRS for a few laps, then try and get that overtake done and catch the front two up. As we'll cut further down the grid, Morgaine fell out of DRS as Sparko now. So on them old hard tyres, I think she's starting to struggle. Brad Travolta also on the hard, as well as the big Spartan. Them two battling it out. Gundy gets that overtake done on Twiggy. Always battling it into the DRS zone. Morgaine gets 3 seconds. Oh, who's that? That's that Ruben Scott. Where's Ruben? That is Ruben. Ruben is under AI. Let's get Ruben back in here. Ruben, where are you? Oh, don't be doing this now. Chances are I've just gone straight past him and not seen it. This game. No, I don't see Ruben anywhere unless I have 2 pages, but I don't think I do. No. Ruben Smith. Was he there? I know I already have Ruben added. I know I don't see Ruben anywhere. He's now down to P14. Kyle, the leader of this race. LM Boys fell out of DRS of K-Ray. So that's interesting. I'll cut back to the D2 chat, see if anything's said in there. He is asking for an invite. Why don't I see Ruben anywhere? I know I haven't added. I don't know where it's saying. Right, apologies about that. My headphone battery's died as well. Apparently the AI binned his car as well. Right, no, I don't see you anywhere. Jundy gets a 3-second time penalty. I will message Ruben. Right, we'll try and resolve that in the meantime. So yeah, Kyle and Twooge still flicking away between P1 and P2. Ellen Boys fell out of DRS of K-Ray in P3. Banyol running a good race up in P5, but he does have a time penalty. And we've got a good battle between JW Curtis, Bunyan's, Jundy. Jundy's missing some of his front wing. So is Bunyan, so the match struggle under braking. Jundy on the hard tyre. Sparko running a good recover race up in P9. Getting up into P11, but she does have a time penalty. Rajabosa falling behind, still battling away with the big Spartan. Sparko is making moves. Twooge for P1 and McLaren P2 and P3. Sparko for P4. I think it's a big ask for Sparko for P4. Have a look at the penalties. There we are. So Banyol will probably lose a position at the minute because Bunyans and Jundy going round the outside off the track. I think I think he was going to rear end Bunions there, so he's took off the track to avoid that. So I'm going to make a stop abusing front wings campaign just for D2 drivers. Every time I look at somebody, they're missing a front wing end plate, as there's one of them. How's Baniel getting on? Is his front wing still intact? Yes, it is. And so is JW Curtis for now. Let's have a look at the tyres. So Baniel on the hard. Oh, is there? Jundy makes an overtake on JW Curtis. JW Curtis coming back down the inside. Both drivers giving each other space. Curtis stays in front. K-Ray still falling off the front two ever so slightly. 6/10 from a few laps ago. Still 10 laps of this race to go. Kyle going down the inside. It's a bit of a half-hearted move. Tweed will get the better exit. Yeah, Kyle stays behind. I wonder if the front two will battle enough that it will bring K-Ray back into it. I think Ellen Boy slipping out of DRS now has thrown the chance of winning this race. If it was a drinking game, I'd die of alcohol poisoning. Oh, can you imagine? Take a shot every time somebody loses part of the front wing. It'd be a funny D2 comms, I'd tell you that. So, Jundy struggling ever since he lost his front wing. But he's still sticking with the rest of the pack, as is Bunions. Sparko could get himself a few positions here. With what? Baniel, Bunions, Jundy all on 3 seconds. He could get himself up into P6. Kyle takes the lead of this race. Taking a sip of Fanta every time someone gets a penalty. If Minty's still racing, you might not have a big enough bottle. The AI then. That's Ruben. I still can't find Ruben. See if we find anything in the D2 chat. I think, yeah, he said it's fine because his race is over due to AI. Which, P13, there's still a chance of points. Oh, Jundy's dived into the pits for a new set of soft tyres. I still think with 9 laps to go. There you go, Alfie. Take a sip of that Fanta. Minty gets another 3 seconds. Jundy comes out in P15, but still I think that's a big ask to try and get back into the points. So not a good race for the Aston Martin driver after winning last week in China. Who is that? That is Curtis off the track. Oh, and he's taking a bit of a spin as he tries to rejoin. He comes back on the track in P10. That's another position for Morgaine. Twiggy up into P8. Twiggy's running a great race at the minute. Twiggy is showing some real pace this weekend as Kyle overtakes Twooge on lap 25 of this race. Front wing damage. Did he actually? Oh wow, he did as well. I missed that one. Good spot. So Morgaine and Twiggy battling it out. Morgaine on the older, harder tyre, but Twiggy on the used medium. Me and Twiggy have had a few coming together this season. Yeah, and the one time you're not racing, he's up into P8. Coincidence? I think not. As we see Baniel and Bunions up the hill. There's another sip, Alfie. Sam gets 3 seconds. Check what our penalties are on. There we are, Minty on 24 seconds. I think he's only two more penalties away from being disqualified from this race. There we are, Twiggy up 8, Baniel up 9. See, K-Ray 2.7 seconds now, so he's closed the gap by over a second the past few laps. He will lose a lot of time on the DRS straight due to not having DRS to the car in front, but towards the end of this race we might see the front two start to battle a bit more as Banyol and Bunions switch positions on the straight. As we come up the hill into the second DRS zone, Sparko just sitting behind, waiting for a gap to open. Banyol with a bit of a just covering the inside. Lol, minty DSQ for that. Who took the fastest lap of the race then? I'm looking down. That was Jundy with an 18.353. So sets the fastest lap by what, 6/10? Shame he won't take a point for it as he is down in P13. As Raj also makes a move on the Big Spartan for P11, taking the penultimate points for this race. The Big Spartan taking the last point of this session. Ruben Scott isn't in the race anymore after his AI span him out and then he disconnected. Ellen Boy still in a bit of no man's land. He needs to try and put in a few quali laps. Try and get him back into DRS of K-Ray in front. As Twiggy and Morgaine battling it out. Twiggy down the inside into turn 1. Morgaine going for the switchback. He just had to back out of it then. Twiggy kind of parked the bus in the middle of the track. She will have DRS going down into turn 4, 5. Twiggy covers the inside, Morgaine down the outside. Yeah, Twiggy won't get a good exit there, which I think Morgaine quickly saw. He was slow. She didn't want to rear end him, which can add into the front wing list. Bunions and Banyan battling away up the hill. So look at that between the top now. So the front two are battling it out, which has brought K-Ray 1.6 seconds in away from the leaders. LM, who is that? That is Kyle in the pits. So, was he on the verge of a puncher? Because he's not getting a front wing. He's putting on the softs. It will almost be a free stop for him. He's going to come out behind Sparko, I think. Oh no, he's going to come out even lower. Behind Morgaine and Twiggy. So he's going to be on the faster tyres. Oh, and who's that? It's JW Curtis who's had to just come off the track. It is a very difficult pit exit. Okay, so this is interesting now. We'll keep an eye on Kyle. He is, let's see how far he is off the leader. 24 seconds in 5 laps. Ambitious, but if he needed to do it to gain, to stop himself getting a puncher, then fair enough. Okay, that promotes K-Ray up into P2. Ellen Boy back within DRS, so then mediums look like they might start falling off now. If Kyle's just had to pit and Ellen Boy is back into DRS. Spark open to P6. You're not far off another 3 positions. To be fair, Bunions and Banyol both have a time penalty, so Sparko could be up into P4. As LM Boy gets that overtake done down the back straight. As K-Ray gets 3 seconds now, so I don't think it'll hinder his time because Bunions is 16 seconds away. As Banyol gets that overtake done down the straight. So, can LM Boy get his head down now? He has 1.9. He's 1.9 seconds away from Twooge with 4 laps remaining. So we called it halfway through. I think it was roughly about lap 23. We would see when the hards come into play. Bunyan's staying ahead. He's showing good pace, Bunyan's, considering he's got front wing damage, but I think that shows what could have been for the Red Bull driver. But regardless, he should still bring some good points home today. Morgaine running a good race after front wing damage on lap 1. Up into P8 at the minute, but Twiggy and Curtis might just be close enough to take 2 positions away from her after 3 seconds. Kyle gets an overtake done on Sparko as he's looking to move through the pack. He's going to be so much quicker than everybody else as he brushes his way past Banyul. As Banyul goes off the track there on the inside, Kyle around the outside, and I'm sure he'll be looking to try and dispatch Bunions as well very quickly as he takes the lead of this race. Banyul fighting back. We've got a great view from Banyul there. Kyle down the inside, gets that overtake done. Kyle up into P4. Please show time penalties. Yep, sure. There you are. So Banyul will lose one position at the minute, but he's still battling away with Bunyan's for track position. So Boy still not gaining on Tuj, but he has got out a DRS of K-Ray. 3 laps to go of this race. I think, if I am correct, let me have a look. Where is our stats page? Race results. Yeah, so if Tuj wins this race, or Boy for that matter, it would mean we've had a different winner each race this season. Hessan took the win in Bahrain. Jundi took the win last week in China. So it's going to be close. Them medium tyres could just fall off a cliff towards the end. There is the gap between Twooge and Boy, as you can see him coming over the crest. Bunions and Banyul still battling it out. Banyul showing some great pace this season. And we're going to see him move from him into the hairpin. Pulls to the inside, has a look. Sparko just sitting behind. I think he knows he can just wait this out and overtake them both after time penalties. Kyle 14 seconds away from his teammate now. With just a couple of laps left of this race. Boy still just can't get close enough to Twooge. Twooge will be praying them medium tyres hold on. Bunions gets another 3 seconds, so that will be music to Banyul's ears. And so will it be Morgaine as well. So if Morgaine can get close enough with this battle in front, she could earn herself an extra position, but she will lose a position to Twiggy, so Banyul is hopefully going to wait out until the final lap. Yeah, he might do now. We've got a yellow flag of Ruben. Yeah, Ruben's AI. Going for a second spin as Banyul gets that move done on the straight. His hard tyres starting to come into play now. Radjabosa and the Big Spartan battling out once again for the last 2 points positions. Radjabosa the only scoring Ferrari today after Hessam got disqualified for overtaking the safety car. Bunions gets that position re-overtaken. Taken back on that second DRS. Jundi lost his wing, I think, again. Oh wow, again. That's third wing? Third winger today. I'm surprised he's not calling that quits, but he might be going to take the fastest lap off Kyle. That's my thinking anyway. Wow, look at that gap now between Tuj and Elenboy as we start the final lap of this race. Kyle not going to be able to catch up to his teammate, so he might have to settle to P4. Banyul still looking up onto Bunions. Sparko still just sitting behind in that DRS. Morgaine, I don't know if she'll know that Bunions has 6 seconds. But she'll be looking to push to try and get out of that 3 seconds of Twiggy, which she has done. Yep, which she has done, so great race for her. Banyul gets that move done on Bunions. Ellen by 1.1 seconds away from Twooge now. Wow, it's been a very close end to this race. I don't know who I want to win, but regardless, it's going to be a different winner in round 3 in Portugal. As we will cut back to the front of the grid There is how close it is. So LM Boy will get the DRS on the final lap as they cross the finish line. But Truge is just going to hold on unless he gets a puncture. So LM Boy just can't do enough. But Twooge in his Aston Martin comes home to win for the first time in Season 4. LM Boy comes home for P2. K-Ray on his podium for P3. Great race for him. Kyle, after boxing with 4 or 5 laps to go, will come home to take P4. Baniel, who finally got that overtake done on Bunions, will finish P5 on track. But you may see that drop down to P6 when Sparkle crosses the finish line. Bunyan's P6, there we are, Sparkle P5. Morgaine goes up into P7, so she does overtake and keeps that position from Twiggy. Twiggy manages to overtake Bunyan, so good race from him. JW Curtis P10, the Big Spartan P11, Rajbosa rounding the final points position in P12. Rubens AI will bring on P13. Minty with 24 seconds of penalties will come home in P15. And Jundi P15 and Sam P16. Well, what a race that was. It really went down to the wire. Yeah, Morgaine doing 32 laps on them hard tyres. Wow. What an effort from her. I am surprised she didn't box under the safety car, but I guess we'll never know. What a race. What a race. Bunyan's putting the Charles Leclerc in the D2 chat. I am so stupid. As there is Mr. Two stepping on the front row. And there are your winners and losers. Kyle takes home the fastest lap of the race as well as P4, so great race from him. I will get the bottom of the grid. Only 3 DNFs this session. SM being disqualified for overtaking the safety car. Nando Loris on lap 2 after what wasn't a good start to his race. And Harv on lap 10, causing the safety car after heading into the wall. But thank you everyone for joining. I hope to see you next week in Austria. Thank you to everyone that's been occupying me in the chat. I really do appreciate it. And if you're not already subscribed, please do. And I will see you next week. Thank you guys.